everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. They'll be led out by the final pick of the first round in 2018 out of Louisville. It's Lamar Jackson.
And it would be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterback shake-off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
He'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. A give to Smith out of the gun. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, the guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On second down, here's Smith. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. The tally there, -2 yards. Brings up 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They go play action now. Jackson, they'll roll him out right. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that in a great play for that defensive unit. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Jackson. That's taken in by Henderson. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you
think.
mean by that, Burke?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Ito Smith. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They'll try the right side here with Smith. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. Jackson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. Commanding the offense will be the 7th overall pick of the 2018 draft. It's Josh Allen.
I love this quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Allen firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big play here for the Bills. 47 yards on the ground. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 40.
Watch the pass.
From the shotgun, they run with Smith. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A great effort there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. It's caught. Smith. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now Allen. And he's got his man on the out route. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. 21-0 our score after 1.
Round 80. 57's the mic. Watch 57. You.
Now a first down carry for Harris. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Allen. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one covers 29 yards, first down. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Sharp there with his feet, gets him a little extra space, and then drop just inside the 20.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Mike's 57's Mike. I'm coming.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Allen. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
This close to the goal line, you got to be very careful when the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. On 3rd down, here's Harris. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. 4 down. Pass. Let's go. Hey, Mike 40. Hey, Delta. Hey, go on, Mike 40. Watch his right there.
From the gun, it's Allen. Steps away to his left. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. This is Carey. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Well, big man with ball meant bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1. Allen now looks to throw. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Ito Smith heading back out with the rest of his offensive crew. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Jackson from the shotgun. They'll find Henderson there. It's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They keep it with Smith on first down. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
What we got?
On the counter, it's Smith. And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Tucker, a career 70% success rate from 50-plus. Just incredible. And the All-Pro is money from distance again there.
They ought to give him 4 points for field goals from some of the distances that this guy makes them from.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 2nd down now, it's Harris. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Allen. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Allen going to throw. He's going to fire one deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. A big play here for Buffalo, and even 50 yards. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they'd take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They run the counter. Harris. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And down to the 19-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Operating from the red zone now. Allen. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. From 19 yards away, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But
trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with.
Here we go. Check. 56, 56. Five.
So after the INT, it's Allen. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Not time enough for a play and then a timeout, you wouldn't think. So with 4 seconds left, they're going for it. Now Allen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. From 13 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on. You knew time was going to run out, so this had to be in the end zone, and somehow they were able to find a window and get it done.
Very easy for us to talk about up here that, yes, all that had to happen, but when time's running down, sometimes your brain compresses a little bit too. They showed great poise, understanding of situation, making sure they got to the end zone in order to complete that pass and take a nice momentum into the locker room.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit, but first let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll kick things off in Charlotte, an NFC South matchup pitting New Orleans against Carolina. And it's the Saints who are out in front as that inches closer to halftime. Jacoby Brissett throwing the football.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bills to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Harris starts the drive on the ground. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
They run again with Harris. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a pickup of 17 on that one and a Bills 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st down, it's Harris. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And now they'll throw with Allen. Forced out to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
I got you. I got you.
Throwing now is Allen. Complete to his tight end Sample. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 40.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down. Harris. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On play action, Allen. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Mike 57, Mike 57.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. This one hauled in by Sample. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 25-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
From the 17, Allen. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. On the run, it's Smith. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He is north of 200 yards. Any time that you can say you're north of 200 yards, you've done something right.
Yeah, you're going to get some big check marks on your grade sheet, and you're going to be in heavy rotation on all the highlight shows, and you might even make a magazine cover or 2.
He's hoping for more, the cherry on top maybe, as this game goes forward. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run with Harris. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Now here's another carry for Harris. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. To throw, it's Allen. Going to throw right side here, complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Allen off the play fake. Flush to his right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Allen now throwing again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Here's Allen to throw it. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Kenny Young came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. It's a decent gain on the ground. Call it 6, but it still leaves him with a ways to go on 4th and goal. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. A gain of 6 there on first. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Jackson to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hey, watch the slant.
They'll start on the ground with Harris. And an alley to run. Accelerating, and off he goes. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Ravens. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. On the draw, this is Smith. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
First down, and they're going to throw without him. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Quite the turnaround from a week ago where he threw 4 interceptions. He hasn't had an interception this game, and he told us during the week, my goal, goose egg. He's achieving that so far.
And what we're seeing is a guy that you can win with, all right?
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Elliott now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first. Jackson now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on 1st down. This is Smith. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now it's Jackson, but they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle.
40's Mike. 40's Mike.
They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Bills, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll get a chance.
I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My true the code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills.